It is a fact that 800 American billionaires together own more wealth than the rest of the country combined. Because of this, it is often claimed that the rich have too big a piece of the pie. By pie, they mean an imaginary pie of wealth. The reason that big government economists use the pie analogy is to evoke jealousy and anger. After all, who wouldn't be angry if a few jerks took most of the pie for themselves? However, this analogy is severely flawed. In fact, it's complete propaganda. How is that? Well, first of all, we need to discuss what wealth actually is. Many people think it's all about money, but it's not. While money is convenient for buying the stuff that we want, it should be considered more future or possible wealth than real wealth. After all, we don't actually consume money itself. We simply use it to trade for food and other stuff later. Real wealth is the stuff that we own. More importantly, it's owning the stuff that we really want. Why is that important? Because people want things to differing degrees. If a person loves their home, does it matter that others hate it? Of course not. Those haters can live in a home of their preference, so that everybody can be happier and wealthier as a result. For example, a portable air conditioner may have a price tag of $500, but to a Texan it may be worth $800 because it's hot in Texas. So, in his mind, paying $500 for it would gain him $300 worth of extra value and wealth. Meanwhile, a Canadian wouldn't really need an air conditioner, and so he may be willing to only buy it for $100. Since he'd lose $400 worth of value if he bought it, he wouldn't bother. People only trade stuff if it's worth it to them, and this remains true whether money is involved or not. That is why the Texan and Canadian could directly trade the space heater for the air conditioner, and they both would still come out wealthier in the end. This is why it's not a zero-sum game. Humanity have been growing wealth since the dawn of time. That is why we don't live like cavemen anymore. We grow wealth through our labor by converting less valuable inputs into more valuable outputs. For example, we build widgets, write software, paint portraits, build new homes, demolish old homes, perform services, and so forth. As long as the outputs are more desirable than the inputs, our labor has created new wealth. Humanity has also figured out that we can more quickly grow our wealth and happiness by specializing. That way we can each get good at something, do that something a lot, and then trade that for other things. Since people tend to only trade when it's beneficial, we are each able to grow wealth more quickly this way. Of course, not everybody gains wealth at the same rate. Surgeons gain wealth more quickly than mimes because there is a lot more demand for surgery than miming. That is why the pie analogy stinks. Unlike wealth, pies don't grow once they are cooked and slices don't grow at different rates. This is so un-pie-like that it makes no sense. In reality, wealth is more like a vegetable garden than pie. Just because somebody grows a nice garden doesn't keep others from growing gardens of their own. If somebody's garden stinks, that is not because of a good garden elsewhere. Jealously taxing away half of people's vegetables discourages them from gardening more. After all, why work hard if they'd only get marginally more for it? We should instead encourage those great gardeners to garden more. That way they make enough to feed more people. Then those other people could blow off gardening altogether and focus on their own specialty to trade. That would make everybody better off overall. After all, if a gardener can feed 10 families, then that's great. If he can feed 100, then that's even better. If he can feed 1,000,000, then that's amazing. Why mess that up just to keep him from becoming super rich? Those who would accuse him of greed are actually guilty of envy and short-sightedness themselves, as they screw themselves in the process. We could either let everybody thrive to varying degrees or screw everybody over. Rather than fall victim to envy and bad pie analogies, we should instead learn from the success of others and strive to become more successful ourselves. That is what a healthy society does.